My beloved child, pause for a moment and know this is not a coincidence. You did not arrive here by chance, for I have drawn you to this very place because your soul has been whispering cries too deep for words, cries that no one else has fully understood, but I have heard every one of them, and I have seen the ache you carry beneath the surface, the heaviness that clings to you even when you are surrounded by others, the silent battles that live beneath your practiced smile, the exhaustion that settles into your bones when the world is quiet. And I say to you right now that you are not forgotten, you are not invisible, and you are not too broken for me to heal. For I have come close to remind you that your story is not over, that the darkness you have endured is not the end, that the storm that has raged inside of you does not have the authority to define you. And though you have believed the lie that nothing will ever change, today I declare a shift, a new beginning, a fresh wind of peace that will carry you where your own strength could not. Because I am not standing at a distance waiting for you to fix yourself or appear strong again. I am here, nearer than your breath, reaching into the very depths of your being, into the corners of your heart you thought were too hidden, too messy, or too fragile. And I am pulling out the sorrow that has tried to bury your joy, the lies that have whispered that you will never be free, the weight that has convinced you to keep surviving rather than truly living. For you were not created merely to endure life, you were created to flourish, to breathe deeply, to laugh again with freedom, to love without fear, and to stand boldly in the beauty I placed within you. And I want you to know that even the tears you cried in silence, even the prayers you could not form into sentences, even the sighs that slipped out of your weary chest, they all reached me, they all moved my heart, and not one of them was ignored, not one of them was wasted, because I have always been near, even in the moments you felt abandoned, even when you wondered if I cared, even when you doubted whether I was listening. I was holding you, carrying you, whispering strength into your spirit when you thought you had none left. And now I am speaking louder because it is time for the cycle of despair to break, time for the shadows to lift, time for the heaviness to be removed, not temporarily, but at the root. For I do not patch wounds, I heal them. I do not numb pain, I transform it. I do not recycle brokenness, I redeem it into beauty. And this moment is a marker in your story where everything begins to turn, not because you figured everything out, not because you became strong enough, but because my love refuses to let you remain stuck in sorrow. Because I have seen how hard you have tried to carry yourself through. I have watched as you put on a smile for others while your heart quietly bled. I have admired the resilience you showed when no one clapped, and I want you to know that even those hidden acts of courage are treasures in eternity. And though the world overlooked them, I never did. For every time you chose to keep going when giving up seemed easier, every time you chose to love when bitterness tried to take root, every time you chose hope even when it felt fragile, heaven celebrated. And now I am answering your endurance with restoration. I am breathing new life into the places you thought were dead. I am watering the dry soil of your spirit, and I am planting seeds of joy that will bloom into a harvest greater than you expected. Because I have not forgotten the promises I made over you, the ones that feel distant, the ones that seem to fade with time, the ones you once held on to but now struggle to believe in. I want you to know they are still alive, they are still unfolding, they are still sure, because my timing is not delay, it is precision, and what looked like silence was actually preparation. What felt like rejection was actually protection. What seemed like wasted time was actually the sacred space where I was building strength in you, teaching you to trust deeper, pulling out lies that had clung to you for too long, and shaping you into someone who can carry the weight of what comes next without being crushed. So do not despise the waiting, do not curse the stillness, because even there I was moving, weaving, aligning,
And now I am saying to you that the next chapter begins not with striving, not with endless effort to prove yourself, but with surrender, with opening your hands and allowing me to take the burdens you were never designed to carry. For you have tried to manage your pain, contain it, bury it, even hide it, but I never asked you to carry it alone. I asked you to bring it to me. And though you convinced yourself that being strong meant holding it all together, true strength is found in surrender, in laying it at my feet, in trusting that I will not mishandle your heart, that I will never abandon you when you are vulnerable, that I will never reject you for being weak. For I delight in your honesty. I draw near to your rawness, and I pour out my strength in your weakness. And as you let go, you will discover that the storm does not define you, the sorrow does not own you, and the lies that told you joy was gone forever were never stronger than my truth. For I am restoring you not to who you once were, but to who I designed you to be from the beginning, the version of you that walks in freedom, in light, in peace, the version of you that knows how loved you are, how chosen you are, how secure you are. And as I restore you, I will not waste a single tear, not a single disappointment, not a single heartbreak, because I weave it all into testimony, into light for others who are still in the dark, into strength that can anchor not only you, but those around you. Because nothing is wasted in my hands, not even the moments you regret, not even the chapters you wish you could erase. For I use even those for your good, shaping compassion, wisdom, and depth within you. And though you have felt behind, though you have wondered if you missed your moment, though you have questioned if too much time has passed, I tell you now that you are not late, you are right on time. For I measure not by speed, but by faithfulness, not by performance, but by surrender, not by appearance, but by authenticity. And you, my child, have been faithful even when it was quiet, even when it was unseen, even when it cost you. And now I am moving, not as a random blessing, but as a holy restoration, tailored to your soul, handcrafted for your healing, designed specifically for your story. Because I am not applying formulas, I am applying my presence. And when I step in, everything changes. Fear loses its grip, shame loses its voice, heaviness lifts, joy returns, hope breathes, and peace settles, not as a fleeting feeling, but as a foundation, unshakable, steady, real. And I want you to know that the best is not behind you, it is before you, that your future holds more joy than your past held sorrow, that your tomorrow is not cursed by your yesterday, that your identity is not defined by your mistakes, your delays, your disappointments, but my unchanging love. For you are chosen, cherished, carried, and called. And even here, even now, in the midst of the uncertainty, in the ache that has lasted too long, I am declaring over you that you will rise, you will heal, you will sing again, you will laugh again, you will dream again, because I am with you, and I will not let you go.